Hello guys and girls, it's Aaron Lee here. Today, I gotta make a video. Hold on, I'm still here. Don't go anywhere. Breaking news on it. Michael Douglas to star as Hank Pym in Marvel's Ant-Man. The Oscar-winning actor joins the cast of Marvel's Ant-Man in theaters July 31st, 2015. Published January 13th, 2014. Updated January 13th, 2014. Michael Douglas has stepped into some of the biggest, or should that be tiniest, shoes of his career. The two-time Academy Award winning actor will join director Edgar Wright and Paul Rudd in Marvel's Ant-Man. Hitting theaters July 31st, 2015. With Hank Pym's rich history in the Marvel universe, we needed an actor capable of bringing the weight and stature to the. Oh, and it's got 77 comments too on this article, and you can share it on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and email. Stature to the role that the character deserves, said Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige. We felt incredibly relieved when Michael Douglas agreed to step into the part with the charm and fortitude he brings to every character he inhabits, and couldn't be more excited to see what he will do to bring Hank Pym to life. The legendary actor earned an Academy Award in the category of Best Actor in a leading role for his iconic portrayal of Gordon Gekko in Wall Street, has also starred in numerous modern classics including Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, The Game, Wonder Boys, Traffic, and many more. In addition, it's a little windy out here, so don't mind me. In addition to acting, Douglas has also served as producer and executive producer on a number of films, including Romancing the Stone, John Carpenter's Starman, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, for which he also won an Academy Award for Best Picture. Most recently, Douglas earned a Golden Globe and his first Primetime Emmy Award for his role as legendary entertainer. The Limerence in the HBO original film Behind the Cabrera. Douglas will star as Hank Pym, who first appeared in Tales to Astonish, issue 27, January 1962, with Rudd starring as Scott Lang in the film. And the tags are Ant-Man, Hank Pym, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Michael Douglas. Now it's on to the comments down below. There's a lot of comments here, and 196 people listening. First guy is Submit or Perish. His comment has 4 likes. Marvel, it's your comic book fans that go out every week and buy your comics, spending hundreds of dollars, including on merchandise, not the moviegoers. I understand that business wise and Hollywood wise, some things have to change. Too much loud noises going on here, guys and girls. Some things have to change, but some things you just don't change. A lot of these superheroes had origins in the 60s and earlier times that have richer histories than Hank Pym. But that doesn't mean you keep them in the 60s. Having someone cast as Hank Pym the same age as Paul Rudd would have still been fine, and what you guys plan to do could have still worked. Having an older actor portray this character limits the proper portrayal. The character deserves being lesser known or not. He is a founding Avenger and not even a mention to the Pym name or Janet's has ever been mentioned in any movie, which is sad. It's sad. Many people have been waiting for this movie for years, and a big part of those people are fans of Hank Pym that want to see Hank Pym have encounters with the rest of the Avengers and his wife, Wasp, but not as an older man. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but why change something that doesn't need changing? Just to have a 60s styles spy flick one time around. Scott Lang is a great character, but there are so many other characters you guys could have did, like Black Panther or Captain Marvel, instead of messing around with Pym and not doing it proper. Next person is Raven 1445. Said, but what about the Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym phenomenon? 3 question marks. And it's got 4 likes. I mean, he's so old. He's so old. Are you still going to do? Are you still going to do the romance? 2 questions. I must know. I must. Shawag. I am not sold on this at all. I feel like they are taking a poop all over the rich history on Hank Pym and just jumping right into Scott Lang as Ant-Man. As a comic fan, this hurts that they will make more of these Marvel movie fans dumbed down to things that are just made up for the movies, that take it for face value, when in the comics it is a whole different light. I can only imagine how this will reflect on Age of Ultron in the second Avengers movie. I will really try and give this a chance, but I feel too many comic book movies get ruined when people who write these movies just go gonzo and try to fix something that is not broken. 6 likes. I'm Leo. Said, I've been following this project for years, and it is the reason that Marvel decided to set up their own studio. They were making plenty of money from other studios buying the rights when Edgar Wright, a fan of Scott Lang's Ant-Man, pitched them a script. They couldn't find a studio that would greenlight it or even understand the concept. Kevin Feige has said that they were getting tired of studio executives asking whether that he was half man, half ant, and not being able to wrap their heads around the idea of a superhero that shrinks. So that was one of the key factors that made him want to found Marvel Studios. Of course, by the time the studio was ready, Wright was busy with other films like Scott Pilgrim, so they released stuff like Iron Man first. Then when people really started buying into the shared universe thing, that they asked Wright to do some rewrites that would make this Ant-Man movie, which was originally meant to be standalone in its own universe, tie in with the Avengers universe. So while Wright was doing that and shooting a test reel to experiment with how the movie would look, Marvel released more movies, and Wright made World's End. But there are two things that people should note here. I'm sorry about this. Can you still hear me? This guy put like a number 1 and a number 2. The first one is Wright from the get-go. Wright is the guy's name. Get-go has been describing the movie as a modern heist story based around Scott Lang, with a prologue set in the trippy 60s, where Hank Pym invents the shrinking technology. 2. The script was so face-meltingly good that Marvel Studios figured it was worth the massive financial risk to make their own studio. At the time, Wright wasn't exactly a household name. Still isn't really. So it was the script that sold it. And it has 1 like for that guy. And the next guy's name is Marvelous. One with 4 9s. 19,999. If they're going to do a prologue, they will need to hire someone to play a younger Pym. So why not just make him young in all? Isn't the script going to be so much worse if they made him the right age? The 60s was a cool time, and other heroes were formed around then too. But you won't see a 1960s version of that character's origin. People want a young Hank Pym and Wasp duo. For likes. Look, it's Eve Leo again. Says, okay, convince me. Tell me an outline of a story featuring a young Hank and Jan that people would watch. Because on the side of older Hank and Jan, lovable Rogue is in trouble with Logan Sharks, or similar. Rogue crosses paths. Rogue is the X-Men character, by the way. Rogue crosses paths with crazy old scientist who claims to be an underappreciated genius. Rogue finds that scientist has tech that can shrink a man. Rogue decides to steal tech and use to steal from a bank. Scientists irate at having been robbed, tracks thief down, and confronts thief just as thief is about to do the heist. Confrontation in middle of heist leads to complications. Eventually, innocents are put in harm's way. Scientist uses the shrink tech to save day. Unaware that thief secretly helps. Thief escapes. Scientist tracks him down again. At thief's home, scientist sees that thief has more depth than previously revealed. Or death that's previously revealed. He is loving the father who had to pay daughter's medical bills. Scientist says, "What the hell? Why not?" and decides to help in the heist. This time, they'll secretly rob the aforementioned sharks and pay them with their own money. Scientist also has more depth than previously revealed and is suffering from breakdown of marriage, but estranged wife stumbles upon the two while planning final heist, and because she's a thrill seeker who thought scientists had gotten boring. Once in, crazy hijinks ensue. Heist does not go as planned. Scientist and wife fall in love all over again. One of the sharks turns out to have some secret ability and is basically a supervillain. Final showdown occurs. Good guys win. Congratulate each other. Thief suggests that they should do this more often. Scientist rolls eyes, but wife seems interested. Roll credits. And then that marvelous guy replied, "Oh great storyline outline. But why can't this work with a younger Hank Pym? He doesn't have to be fresh out of college. Young, he could be older, but not late 60s / 70 years old either." An old man playing a superhero role? Yeah. Michael Douglas is kind of old for this movie, I think. 70 years old either. Would it be... He did laugh though. Would it be more interesting to see a more active Pym, Wasp, and even Lang as a team in future movies? Or cameos? A younger Pym and Janet interacting with their teammates, the Avengers, the way it's supposed to be. And yeah, you could give Scott Lang the mantle of Giant Man. Yeah, you could give Scott Lang the mantle of Giant Man Goliath. Or Yellow Jacket. But it won't be the same as having Hank Pym fill those shoes. Too. And then Leo replies, well, obviously, it wouldn't be the same because they're different people. But what makes Pym more interesting than Lang? Because Lang is the one that Wright was a fan of and wanted to make a movie about. What are the interactions with their fellow Avengers that you're talking about? What are the more interesting relationships they bring to the equation? Because egotistically, Inventor has already been done. Stark. Married superhero couple with you don't treat me like you love me. You love me issues. Has been done. Richards and Storm. That big guy who hits things. Has been done. Banner. Etc. And if they're willing to do the can talk to specific kinds of animal thing. They already have Falcon. The interesting aspect of Ant-Man is the ability to shrink and the mechanics that allows, and those aspects are far more interesting in the hands of a thief than in the hands of a scientist who wants to. What? Why does Pym fight crime? What's his motivation? Why hasn't he sold the patent to the U.S. military? Or to Stark? Who is Pym? Because I've read the original comics, and the characterization is a little thin and kinda sexist. These are questions that scriptwriters seem to have difficulty with, and since a talented, phenomenal writer/director came to Marvel with an idea about how to do a Scott Lang movie, I'm not willing to assume that it'll be terrible just because Pym is in his later years. And then Marvelous replied, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the movie will be bad or that they shouldn't use Scott Lang, but Hank Pym has been pushed aside by Marvel a lot, and despite his issues, he's a founding Avenger. The movies are a reimagining a character right. So why not reimagine him and work on his better qualities to develop something that would play nice on the big screen. It just shows that they are not creative enough and want to shun the character and are just using him to say, okay, here. We used Hank Pym, so fans be happy. So fans, be happy now. Watch the cartoon, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And he spelled heroes wrong. He forgot the ES at the end. And tell me if you feel they can't translate young Hank Pym well in movies. That show is the perfect example of how they could have used a young Pym and Scott Lang working together, and it's a perfect example of how the rest of their characters should make an appearance into the movies. They could have easily made the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. About Pym working for S.H.I.E.L.D. developing Pym particles, and had the Ant-Man movie be what they want to do, but they always find a way to shove the character Hank Pym aside. 2 likes. Leo replied, Earth's Mightiest Heroes is not an Ant-Man show. It's an Avengers show. Meaning that Pym didn't have to be interesting on his own because there were plenty of other characters to do the narrative heavy lifting. The 1 or 2 episodes that focus on Pym, there were few and far between. Made him a boring bookworm who only fought crime because Jan pestered him. His most interesting feature was that he was a perfectist who believed in rehabilitating criminals, and this resulted in no truly interesting philosophical arguments, and led to quitting the team, whereupon the rest continued to fight crime without him. That's fine for generating dramatic tension as part of a team. But if he had to carry a film on his own in the last 20 minutes before he logically decided that catching those bank robbers was a job for the police. Roll credits. It's a pretty long one, huh? Looks like there's 2 guys in this video bantering at each other. Nobody is able to tell an interesting Ant-Man story. They can tell an interesting Avengers story that features Ant-Man, but that doesn't help him carry his own movie. People seem to insist that Pym be given a movie because he's owed one or something due to being a founding Avenger. But they can't actually say why a movie about him would be interesting. Maybe somebody could, but very few people are willing to write the script for it. Besides, who's to say that young 60s Pym and Van Dyne that wouldn't show up in the Peggy Carter show people are talking about, alongside Howard Stark, Duggan, etc. Or for that matter, who's to say that Pym can't fight crime at 70? If he's 10 stories tall, I think he could fight a lot of people without breaking a sweat just by stepping on them. You say the movies are a chance to reimagine him, but that's what they are doing, changing only his age. And you don't like it anyway. Then Marvelous replied, you still don't get the point. Why build a Peggy Carter / Howard Stark show when they have other more interesting characters from their universe to put on screen or on TV? Inhumans, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Ghost Rider, Heroes for Hire, Spider-Woman, and countless more. They could have did a build-up to Pym to make it more interesting on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But Hank Pym gets neglected, and I wasn't implying that you watch EMH to see how to have a standalone movie, or to see that Hank Pym could work as a side character interacting with the rest of the Avengers, like minor characters like Hawkeye and Black Widow, who really wasn't part of the original Avengers team. Pym never worked with Peggy Carter or Howard. So why go that route? Why not keep him with the people he originally works with? Peggy Carter isn't so interesting where she needs a show. I could care less about Peggy Carter. I want to see Wasp and She-Hulk and other notable female heroes. People aren't saying to give Pym his own movie, but to pay with him the respect he deserves, not shoving him to the side using an older actor as an excuse. Just say, here we used them. Why use an older Pym when it isn't needed? That's the point. 2 likes. Dr. Evan X said, and so dies another Marvel movie, and several superheroes of Hank Pym. 5 likes. Harmonica 39 said, I love how people don't get the whole MCU thing. MCU means Marvel Cinematic Universe thing, or well, the multiverse for that matter at all. Here's Marvelous 19,999. Says again. I love how people don't get that certain things couldn't change. 5 likes. BIE says, after viewing all 3 flavors of Cornetto trilogy, I have complete faith in Edgar Wright. Hank Pym is cut leg in a heist genre. This is yeah. No, that was he said hell. This guy said hell yeah. I'm not gonna say it though. I mean, I just said it. Next guy is Strange Whisperers. 4 likes. Said we get Ant-Man, but no female lead movies. Sad. Tourism 000 said, oh, and the movies are predominantly based on the Ultimate Comics universe. Nick Fury, anyone? The Wisdom 3 zeros says again, wow, it's incredible how many people who are fans of Marvel and its movies are without imagination. 1. There are silent implications to making Pym older. There might actually be another combined movie based in the past where Hank Pym actually knows and works with Tony Stark's father, or perhaps, or as a run-in with the Winter Soldier. I could see Pym being involved with scientists trying to rediscover slash pursue alternative avenues for making super soldiers. 2. I'm actually relieved that Paul Rudd will be playing Scott Lang instead of Hank Pym. It's very hard for me to be drawn to Hank's character in the comics. He was often too serious for me. It wasn't until recently when there was a preview for Avengers AI, Artificial Intelligence, that Hank Pym's portrayal was totally different and carefree than what I've seen in earlier comics. Even the way that he used his powers were creative and refreshing. I can't picture Rudd playing a scientist better than playing a smart-ass thief. Rudd is going to be more believable. Be a more believable character to me. I'm still here, guys and girls. It's that Marvelous guy again. 5 likes. Said, you can't say They are without imagination. They just don't want to see an older rendition of a character who doesn't need to be older. Why make a Howard Stark movie? Why make a Howard Stark movie? There are so many other characters that could be brought to screen. To Wisdom 30 said again, fair enough. People are entitled to their opinion. I would love to read more comments pertaining to why Hank Pym is set as an older character than what he should be. To me, the possibilities are titillating and are worth exploring before writing off the movie Ant-Man because of their choice in casting Michael Douglas. I wasn't necessarily saying they should make a movie with Howard Stark, let alone a Howard Stark movie. I was saying that there's a broader timeline. They're able to introduce Ant-Man just because this movie will focus on Scott Lang as Ant-Man doesn't mean that Hank Pym. No, they're replying, yeah. That Hank Pym as Ant-Man can't really exist. Are you following me now? This Marvel's guy keeps causing arguments if people are here. People are saying different things. And it's got one mic. The same thought can be extended to the concept of the Avengers. Just because Nick Fury first mentioned the Avengers Initiative in the title of Captain America was Captain America the First Avenger. Doesn't mean that there wasn't an attempt at trying to create the Avengers or some other superhero team. Maybe younger Hank Pym tried starting a group, the Avengers, like the Avengers, and was inspired by stories like Captain America and people like Howard Stark were his contemporaries. Marvel Studios has been surprising me in great ways with how well their movies have been turning out. I think with their track record, I can afford to give them the benefit of the doubt. When I first heard Douglas getting casted, I thought somehow that Rudd dropped the role, or it was taken away from him, and Douglas was replacing him. That made me mad. Until I visited this website and read the facts. It just means Marvel has a plan with this, and we might not be disappointed. It's one like. That Marvel's guy keeps getting 5 likes on each time he writes. I guess he's replying to this guy. Marvel is 19,999 said again. The thing is a lot of die-hard Hank Pym fans waited a long time to see this movie, hoping it would shed a new light on Hank Pym and do his character justice. I hear what you're saying. An idea they have for the movie is cool, but just having Pym alone opens up other storylines, etc. He doesn't need to be older, or at least not Michael Douglas. Not older. Marvel should have made a casting decision that would have satisfied moviegoers and their die-hard comic fans, because if it wasn't for their fans, who knows if these movies would exist. And nobody wants to see Wasp become Scott Lang's girlfriend. That rumor going around, because that makes away from Lang's story of being a single father trying to help his daughter. To Wisdom 30 said, I'm hoping seems very unlikely that because they've cast Douglas as older Prime, that Marvel is still hoping that Joseph Gordon Levitt will be able to play a younger Hank Pym in future flashback movies. I know, highly unlikely, but I think they're preserving a younger Pym to show the potential awesomeness that Ant-Man could have. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as younger Hank Pym. What do you guys think? I would love it. I could see the third Avengers movie. Having a time travel theme or some crisis with time breaking down. And then Nightcrawler 1010 has 8 likes. And he said, this is actually worse than Batflick. Than Ben Affleck. Oh, he said Batflick because it's Affleck. Yeah. Batman is played by Affleck. Yeah. I guess that guy doesn't like it. It's got 8 likes. Nightcrawler 1010. It's by Nightcrawler 1010. He wrote twice. Second time was said, thanks for ruining my favorite Avenger. 6 likes. J. Bob the Great said, okay everyone, just calm down. I'm pretty sure it's a joke. 3 likes. Spooky Boy replied, we can only hope. 4 like. Then 79 said, well, another Marvel film I refuse to watch. Marvel, why are you ruining my childhood? Say like. GJ Davila. Mine too. 4 likes. T-Bot said, I can't possibly add anything new that people haven't said, but I'm so sick about this big mistake, and I'm writing in the hopes that sheer numbers of complaints will force Marvel to reconsider. I'm actually thinking Affleck might not be so bad compared to this. Ugh. 8 likes. Gija Davila said 6 likes. This guy has 6 likes. Said, well, I guess one of my favorite characters will never share screen time suited up as Giant Man or Yellow Jacket with Iron Man or Cap in an Avengers film. What a waste. I've been waiting to see Pym and Janet in Avengers film for years. Marvel seems to love pushing their fans to the wayside. Up big nuts. Has 4 likes on his comment. I thought Shimla Blair made a great Janet Van Dyne Wasp. But her together with Paul Rudd for Hank Pym, that wouldn't work. That would work. But Douglas in a different role, that would actually work. For like, nobody said he was, but they said in the article, if they're gonna do it, it doesn't matter how many people complain. For like, when do they decide to write the movie themselves? Opponent Pounds said, I was really looking forward to see Hank Pym on the big screen. Big screen. Young, not young, in the 60s, getting the respect he deserves, mingling and becoming an Avenger team member along with a young Wasp. With Hank Pym's rich history in the Marvel Universe, we knew we needed an actor capable of bringing the weight and stature to the role that the character deserves. That doesn't mean he has to be an older man. Michael Douglas is a good actor, but no Hank Pym. I hope Janet doesn't become the Wasp. For Scott Land, you mean Scott Lang? She is Hank Pym's real partner. K. Christopher says, another guy had 6 likes. That's it. Christopher said, I just hope they cast someone as young Hank Pym and that he gets a good amount of screen time. 2 likes. Opponent Pounds replied, I hope they cast a young Hank Pym that stays a young Hank Pym for the rest of his appearances in future movies. 6 likes. Up Chick Big Guts said he has 8 likes on his comment. I have seen every Marvel movie in the theaters with my kids up to now, and will see the other Marvel movies. But I refuse to see Ant-Man with a fail choice for the part like Michael Douglas. Yes, he is an accomplished actor. He forgot to say ED. And makeup, she said accomplished actor. He meant accomplished actor. And makeup will do a great job removing years from his face. But he will not make a good choice for Hank Pym. Maybe Hank Pym's father. He meant Hank. But not Hank Pym. What happened to Marvel getting young, fresh faces to do action and making it exciting? Thor 2 did very well, but not by having Anthony Hopkins playing the main character of Thor. He did a great job as Odin. I don't know who thought that Douglas could pull this off, and that the Marvel fans would be okay with it. They need to be fired. 8 likes. Rare bite. Up. Chicken nuggets. Okay, spare us the drama. Quit pretending outrage. It's about a movie and character you clearly know nothing about. Have you even read a single press release about this thing? Scott Lang is the Ant-Man in the film. Scott Lang, who is portraying Scott Lang. Paul Rudd. Michael Douglas is playing Hank Pym. Way back in 1979. In the comics, Scott Lang stole the Ant-Man gear from Pym so he could save his daughter's life. He later returned the gear to Pym and offered to turn himself in. But Pym let him keep it. As long as Lang promised to continue to do good as Ant-Man, Pym's role in this film is only a supporting role. So I guess by your standard of measurement, this will do really good, since Paul Rudd is the lead and Michael Douglas will inhabit as an Odin-like positive in the film. Good thing flying off the handle and misunderstanding pretty much everything. I would imagine all of Marvel's fans who can read are in fact okay with this. You, though, maybe it's time to read some comics and learn a thing or two about the characters who would pretend more outrage over or go see the movie, since your reasons for boycotting entirely off base, and you can learn about Pym and Lang on the big screen. 2 likes. Saved by wrath. It's replied. So, this must be Ant-Man 2 then. We just don't get the first movie where Hank Pym is Ant-Man and helps fund the Avengers. Oh wait, we really got shit on with that. I like the Avengers movie. Some things, like who the actual original members of a team should stay the same. 4 likes. Sam 4079 replied, thanks. I asked for an explanation, and yours is excellent. However, bypassing Hank Pym as Ant-Man and using Scott Lang as the main character raises another question. What about the Janet Van Dyne character? 4 likes. Shawag replied, this is the same thing they did to Iron Man 3. Marvel is going down the movie goer road and not the comic fan road. Getting big names and dubbing down the roles like they did to Iron Man's biggest villain of all time, and turning him into a running gag throughout the movie. I had high hopes for Ant-Man, but now not so much. 4 likes. Crystal McKee replied, That is exactly why I had problems with Iron Man 3. The portrayal of Mandarin was in poor taste, and I believe that it would have been a better movie in general. 2 likes. X-Men Unite said, complete rubbish. No offense to Douglas, but you don't cast an old man as Hank Pym and make Rudd play Scott Lang. I got so hyped up for this movie that I even bought a Marvel Masterworks of Ant-Man to read, but now I'm not so sure. Completely irritated and angry when I read this. Rudd would have been the best choice to play Hank Pym. And P.S. I know most of the comic book story arcs with Hank Pym as Ant-Man. Why did you do this? Why did you do this, Marvel? And please answer this question, which you probably won't. 7 likes. Marvelous 19,999 said, what? No. Michael Douglas is a brilliant actor, but Hank Pym should have been younger. He's not much older than Lang. Scott Lang is a secondary character compared to Hank Pym, and if you used an old actor, that doesn't leave room to explore his other history, Giant Man, Goliath, Yellow Jacket, and not even that people wanted to see a young Hank Pym and Wasp interacting with the rest of the Avengers, especially Iron Man. I was excited when I thought Paul Rudd was Hank Pym. 8 likes. Sam 4079 said, I love Michael Douglas, one of the greatest actor of all time. However, he's turning 70 this year. I really don't get this casting. I thought all along Paul Rudd was going to be Pym, which I thought was great, but now Rudd will be a secondary Marvel character. Scott Lang. Can someone explain this? 6 likes. Next guy is Joe Willie 1. She's got 6 likes too. I can't understand how Disney could do this. The only way this can work is if Douglas is playing Pym in a flash. He meant Pym. In a flash forward. Oh no. This will stink. But most people don't know who Hank Pym is. So it really will not matter to most of the fans. Just the people who spent their hard-earned money making Marvel. I guess if you them. He meant screw them. Us. Just like. The next person is Gene under loop. Said, so who are they gonna cast for Janet Van Dyne? Elizabeth Taylor? Elizabeth Taylor. She's an old lady actor. Yeah, right. Seriously, Marvel? How can you mess up such a key character of the Avengers franchise. To read the comments, I'm not seeing anyone overly happy with the news. It's not late. It's not late to backtrack. 9 likes. That was funny. Then Dark Light under 37 said, Michael Douglas, this is Ant-Man. The golden years. The golden years. 5 likes. And 127. No, and 27 said, a shame the little respect towards fans, Marvel. 8 like. Crystal McKee said, it seems as though they are going to completely pass over Hank Pym. Hank Pym is Ant-Man. This will be the first Ant-Man movie. And you already want to pass over the main/first Ant-Man? What about his origin? Hank Pym was a founding member of the Avengers. You guys already passed over him to the Avengers. Now you want to pass over Hank Pym again? Complete rubbish. I will still give this movie a chance. But right now, it's not looking so hot. 7 likes. Exit menu. Provide, totally agree with you. And I agree, it is rubbish. Lieutenant Pounds replied, I agree, and I hope they don't pair Scott Lang and young Janet to form the Ant-Man Wasp duo. It needs to be Pym and Janet. Crystal Annie replied, Dear Star-Lord, no. 3 likes. And then Rainy 531 said, for ends, no. 5 likes. Miss Scabble replied, 7 likes by the way. And what about Jan? Where are all the female characters we have been promised down the road? I get that there is some sort of formula in place that will allow you to keep making billions. But if you're going to keep producing stuff like that neglects half of your audience, how long will this last? What I do know, I guess as a female, I should just get back in the kitchen and maybe find a new franchise to spend all of my disposable income on. 7 likes. Crystal McGehee replied, I was really hoping to see the Wasp fly onto the big screen. 5 like. Mighty Wolf said, 1 like, seeing as how the age of the character is no longer a factor. Digimon Hudson is long overdue for the part of Black Panther. It's 1 like. Superior Punisher said, no. Mr. Bonnie Wolf, I strongly suggest African American actor Morbius Chestnut as the Black Panther. In fact, he is the Black Panther. One like. Chabram, said, no longer have any interest in seeing this movie. We want Pym as Ant-Man. Pym is the only Ant-Man worth making a movie off. This is just terrible news. Come on, Marvel. This is seriously Ben Affleck as Batman. Stupid. Line like Crystal McAgee. Completely agree. There are so many other actors that I think could have played Batman. I'll wait and see, but you never know. He could surprise us. No likes. Next guy is well-fed Ed. Said, can Michael Douglas play a character as young as 69? 2 likes. Pym Ant-Man said, my favorite comic book character, but I've been waiting for years for this. My heart actually hurts. Why does Marvel hate me? I was so excited. I don't think I've ever been this disappointed. 9 like. Gigi Davila said, Pym is such a great character. Left meaning leg is neither an interesting nor as compelling. So much for Cap, Tony, Thor, Hank, and Janet together on screen. Dream killed. 5 like. Smoothie Boy said, no, just no. M3W Thor 33 said, he's old, like uncomfortably old, turning 70 this year. Samuel L. Jackson is 65 and already is looking a little tired. 5 like. Laura W. survived. But Michael Douglas is like 500 years old. 4 like. Webhead. Next guy is Webhead. 737. Maybe he plays an old Hank Pym from the future. He can play for the future. Krista McGee replied, I could only hope. First guy was, this Webhead was 4 likes, and the next person was 3 likes. Next guy is Goobot. Said, ugh, I think Michael Douglas is a fine actor, but Marvel just completely destroyed the character of Hank Pym. Not only will he have nothing to do with Ultron, but now he isn't Giant Man, and Wasp won't be his wife. What the hell is the point to all this? I'm okay with some changes, but you completely destroyed the character. 8 likes. Shalane replied, agreed so much with this. I do not get why they had to do this. So what if all these stupid non-comic book fans don't know who Ant-Man is. Why do this? Just for the movie people? WTF, Marvel, WTF. 1 like. MD Buzz. So, the heist movie makes sense now. Rudd will play Lang. He will steal the costume from Pint in order to save his daughter. No likes. Kadaki 616 said Paul Rudd will probably play Scott Lang, which will work well considering maybe they'll change it up and make Janet Hank's young assistant or his granddaughter, which would be alright with me. Still looking forward to this. No likes. Tehran Dome said it's literally stated in the last paragraph in the release. 1 like. Promise 19,999 replied, if Janet is Hank's assistant or granddaughter, that would be disrespect to his character. Hank Pym and Janet are the Ant-Man and Wasp duel, not Scott Lang and Janet. Joe Loader 240 said, good symmetry out here. Ant-Man first appeared in 1962, and Michael Douglas was born in 1862. He was. His dad was born that year. I don't know. He was born in. Nah, he wasn't born in 1862. That's a joke. They're making fun of Michael Douglas because he's old. They always make fun of old people like that. I don't know. I don't want to see an 80-year-old man, Jan. I don't want to see an 80-year-old Jan running around in a wasp costume. So either they totally change her origin and relationship to Hank, or there won't be a wasp in the Marvel Universe. Still looking forward to this movie, but really disappointed that we're not getting a Hank Pym in his prime with Jan. 3 likes. Cameras. KMW 169 said, my thoughts exactly. No likes. Broken statue replied, 1862. No likes. Centipede Damascus said, yeah, but who is going to play Jan? 3 likes. Crystal McGehee replied, Betty White. Betty White, from the look of Marvel's casting for this movie. 7 like. Alright, boys and girls. That was a very long video I did. That video was too long. Guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed it and liked it for your viewing pleasure. Guys and girls, and stay tuned for more. Thank you, and stay tuned for more. And I'm so happy. I have 200 subscribers now. Yay! and 50,000 views. Alright, see you later. Bye.